Ooh, I do like these things. I drop the hammer, and then I open it on him, and he drops down and just swats him. We'll jump out, kind of clear a little bit around it. Doesn't really matter, though. Okay. So what I like to do is... we'll clear this guy up. I like to drop one of these on the opener, and then open this thing up so that when they pop out, they get hit with a splinter, or a hammer of the gods. And I just jump in a circle, and I kind of use the map there in the background to steer around where I'm supposed to be going. You want to jump further, just to get more, and I jump on the hands, and I just open those things up. Hello and welcome back to Path of Exile 2. This is update either 2 or 3, the latest update, and I may have another one for this build. It is a two-hand mace leap slammer, and clears screens, has a great time. We are level 92 now. We have 6,700 life, 2,300 energy shield. That shoots up to 4,600 during mapping. We're good on our resist. We got a little bit of chaos resistance. We're in good shape. It's an easy build to play. We're going to do a quick... there'll be a mobalytics link in the bottom with the updated gear. I rolled this one and it added the spirit, which allowed me to put my, and I'll explain it, the blasphemy back on with vulnerability, which takes away 7,500 armor to all the monsters in an area around me. It's a permanent curse that just happens to all the creatures around me. And there we go. This is a tricky one to buy. I think the price on this has been going up. I got it for 2 divine, and I don't know. I'd have to check the price again. Titanic is anointed on there. I'm gonna go over these, and then the mobalytics link will have this as well. But I'll just show you this at first. I might actually try to get a double leech again. I might go back to that just to be a little more tanky, so the leech comes back even faster. But it works with just one leech. What else? Oh, and then on the jewels, I corrupted them all with vulnerability, or valved them, and got good rolls on that. That helped out a lot. There we go. Let's do the demo. I was looking for a good map to run for this. I want a map that's open. It's just fun that way. Step is open, but I wanted to do like a tier 16 and everything. But there wasn't any tier 16s like Decay. I don't think that's a good one. This was Oasis. That might, but that's not a bigger, there was no, it's just no bigger ones that are multiplied with corruption and that on there. So we'll do this one. But to take a quick look, I've done Zesh. So now we have additional breaches chances. We could actually change this to make it even crazier. Increase damage. That'd be interesting. And get more breach splinters. Let's try that. So let's go over to her. Not refund the passives that way. Let's change that to this one. Apply. So I've done the pinnacle boss, the first tier of him. I've done all the other bosses up to here, and I just got to get one more, and we'll probably take that. So this does bosses smoothly, easily, not a problem. Some tier difficulty for like tier 18 bosses can get pretty chunky, but so far so good. Let's dive in and do this. Right here. Drop this in. That up there. And this is a tier 15, so... But it works the same on a tier 16 and yeah, it's just... Oh well. Here we go. Dive in here. Let's go find the... If I just jump and everything explodes... What is this? I don't know what that one is. Oh, it's a smoke screen one. Interesting. Doesn't really help us that much. I should put the new options. Game, we'll put CDR is very strict. Version 2. Save. You can download those as well from the GitHub. Here it is, right here. We'll jump out. Kind of clear a little bit around it. Doesn't really matter though. Okay. So what I like to do is, we'll clear this guy up. I like to drop one of these on the opener and then open this thing up so that when they pop out, they get hit with a splinter, or a hammer of the gods. And I just jump in a circle, and I kind of use the map there in the background to steer around where I'm supposed to be going. You want to jump further, just to get more. And I jump on the hands, and I just open those things up. So we're getting more splinters. That's nice. And they're doing more damage to us, 25% more or something. I don't know. Are they going to be up here this way? Yeah, well, I guess we'll risk it and go this way. Come on down to the hand. Jump on there. And I think the splinters are going 1 or 4 for 1 exalt. Come on, more. I want more. More. So we're just getting zapped. You see us getting, but our energy shield is 3,200, 6,700 on the health. Very easy. Let's get more. Let's get this guy. Nice. Didn't get that one. Oh well. But you get the idea. I mean, the rares in here are no problems whatsoever. And you can scale this up. It really works at tier 16, 17, 18. I do pretty much any... I really don't care what map I do. It just crushes stuff. I was never in any danger there, I don't think. I don't really pay attention to anything. I just jump on stuff. I want, like, bigger groups and crazierness. I even have this on my... I took this to improve it, even make it, the maps even crazier. It does a 25% multiplier on all the mods on there. So it makes it even crazier. So that gives you an idea of what we're doing here, and I'll show you how we do it. Cool. The thing is, you work your way up to it. You don't have to have this gear to actually pull this off. This guy just chunk him down. I don't really pay attention. I can't even see him there. It's not the best setup there. But you don't need, like, all this unique gear at first. This one does help with the, what do you call it? Having your energy shield like this. This would be the first piece I got. And then I'd probably get the shield next. And try to get at least 400 or 500% or better on that roll there. I got 600% or better. You can get up to 800, but it costs lots of divines. And then whatever you put in here, I put... what did I put in there? Soul core of... Oh, life. So I get 12%, 12%. So that's how I get the life up, which then adds to this as well. Pretty nice. And I think I have... what is it? Chaos in the... 4 chaos in this armor. And then 20% life because I have 4 of those socketed. And then this one was just resist all. And I'm trying to use a resist all on the other sockets as well because it just makes it easier to hit your targets. It's a total of plus 15 versus whatever the other one was, 12 or something, so it's just nicer. And the Zesh fight, if you haven't tried it, it's right by your ziggurat area. There should be a little realm gate pretty close to it. It doesn't look very distinct. Click that, put the breach zone in there, which is 300 of these things right here. And you'll get these pretty quick if you do a lot of breaches. Put it in there. You do a normal breach, just loop slam your way to the end of it. It's timed, but it won't be an issue. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff doesn't really bother me. None of this does. And then I would suggest watching a video first so you know roughly what's coming. You don't want to waste a breach stone, but you could go in blind, and there'll be some surprises during the fight. All right, let's go over the rest of this stuff. And the reason I say 4,600 in the video is because when I'm out here, look at it, I mean, it's at 4,600 almost all the time. During a boss fight, it'll be, less than that because you're getting hit, and then there's not a lot of these things spawning. But when you're just mapping a lot, and that's what you're doing the majority of the time, it's just, you have 4,600 energy shield. It's just great. Oh, there's a rare here. I didn't notice that. Let's use that on him. Smash him. Nice. And I have a really low cooldown on the Hammer of the Gods. So I get 2, and then another 30 seconds I get another 2, or it's like 1 every 15 seconds on average-ish. Easy stuff. Anything dropped? I'll take that one. Okay. And the last thing I'll say is this is a very relaxing, I can just, can I just stand somewhere and, how much damage do I really take? I just stand there. Let's find out. There's some creatures over here. Maybe over here. To give you an idea. Oh, there's a breach stone I missed. Breach splinter. Some creatures over here. Here's some. Won't even hit them. See if they just mess with me. Do they do anything? They're trying to do stuff. They're doing something. A little bit. A little something. And we'll hit them once, and it heals all the way back up. Nice. Wow, this dropped corrupted like this. Attack, so it's got some chaos resist, poison, attack damage, increase. That's a decent item. Somebody might need that for a bow character, crossbow. Pretty cool. At the very bottom of the video, there'll be chapters. I'll add those in, and then I'll add a Mobalytics link after that, so that there'll be a link in the description to Mobalytics. I haven't tried, there's another website, Maxroll. I haven't tried that one. I just happened to go to Mobalytics first. Didn't pick one or the other. I just went to that one and did it there. Maybe Maxroll is easier to set up a build guide. I don't know. But it'll be down at the bottom. I'll go over the gear and I'll explain why on things now. I don't have anything in the offhand. I think I set that on there just to mess around and test, but nothing in the offhand so far. And I'll explain there's some tech you can use where you do use a set of offhands. You could set it up to use some totems with some +6s on there on the melees so that you could get a really high level totem spawnings, and you could drop some totems and do bosses with totems that way, and then swap back to this weapon set, which is your main, damage weapon set. You could do that. There's also where on your passive tree, let's say you did this. I'll explain it. See. Yes. Let's say I had nothing in my offhand, and I wanted to do something like this. Let's take away I could take away this AoE. I know I wouldn't, but let's see. Is there any AoE here? This AoE right here. I could take this away. And what I would do is I would identify a bunch of things that are map clearing nodes, and then I would assign it just to weapon set number 1. And I'd go back and I'd say, okay, for weapon set number 1, I would put this here. And then I'd go spend that point for weapon set number 2. I would spend it here on just close range melee hits. So you would have 2 builds that way once you get used to doing this. And then I'd have it on both. I'd turn it off so it's both. I've been just using them on both because I'm lazy. But if you wanted to min-max, that's definitely the way to do it. Then as you're approaching like the Zesht fight, it would have been easier for me because I would have chose more of this and got rid of some of the AoE and some of the things that wouldn't help as much on a boss fight. Whereas this is kind of a generic build. You could do 2 builds that way. But I'm just going to do the generic build because that's getting a little too complicated. It's not that complicated, but it's something.
Can't always get it right.
Weapon. Things that are important on here. Accuracy I don't use because we use Resolute Technique from the passive tree, and I'll explain that in the passive tree section. So we don't use accuracy. We are at 100% because of a Resolute Technique. We also can't crit because of that. That's okay. It's not a crit build. So the things that you want to look for on here are a high DPS, high physical DPS. Okay, so that's the step 1. And then at least like at this level, you're going to need at least +5 or +6 on that melee skills. Attack speed is nice to have. It smooths out the leap slams. I have to triple check that. I've had it where I have no attack speed and it feels clunkier. With the attack speed, it feels a lot better to jump and jump and jump. And I have some here, and I have some attack speed here as well, and then some on the tree as well. So, not too much, but just some. Okay, so attack speed, melee skills, physical damage, and the melee. Those 3, and then you're going to add in, if you can get the physical damage one, that's a terrible roll, the 3 to 5. But if you can get a better one than that, just get a better weapon. The enemies killed is nice, but if it had, I'd prefer the thing that said the leech. I would prefer that over the 47 per life per enemy killed, because then it helps you face tank bosses a lot easier, because you're getting damage back, physical attack damage back by hitting the creatures instead of only when it dies, which doesn't help on a boss. This helm gives us our I've seen them go up to 36% of your max health as as a shield. So that's great. And then it does have a bypass there. I've seen it. You can get it corrupted to where it's lower than that. But I corrupted mine after I added the socket. I put the socket in and then I corrupted it and I got the plus spirit. That was huge. That really helps on clearing. It really does. Because it allows us to run vulnerability. I'll explain that in a little bit too. The shield, it's just a 25% block shield. I don't block very much. I don't use block. I'm just not, I just don't use it that much. But what it does is it gives us tons of life. It's 600% for each of these, so that's 6 times, and that's a 2%, 12%, 24% life increase with this thing right here. If I take it off, let's see. So that's, what is that? 1200? 1200 and another 200 ES. So 1200 more life just from this. And then we also get something else too. What was it? Well, the armor and the energy shield. I don't know why that 1200 doesn't get calculated into the energy shield percentage thing, but oh well. Maybe it does. It's hard to say. Then you're going to shoot for Grand Regalia, the Moria Invictus, and they roll with a bunch of different stats there. Not just the maximum life. They can have all kinds of things. Now, if I take this off, that's what my health drops another 800. The energy shield drops, what is that, 700? So it's a significant drop because I have the 5% life per, and then the 10% increased global defenses. Now, global defenses counts for armor. What else? Armor, energy shield, global defenses. Where is it? Mixes it up. Armor, evasion rating, and energy shield, 40% increased. And that's an increase. So that's a total of 40. That's the big chunker. It has some armor, evasion shield, and energy shield on the item itself, and this is not corrupted. I could take a risk on this, guys. Should I do it? Didn't corrupt this. Let's take a risk. It'll be fun. I didn't believe I didn't corrupt that. Maybe I was afraid to? Hey. Here we go. We'll do it together. Oh boy. A lot of fun here. Might end up with something great. Right now it says you can do this. You can hold Alt and we'll pin it. And then that's its current form. Here we go. We're going to believe that I didn't corrupt this. Okay, here we go. Something cool. What happened? Let's see. 245, 10, 10. Well, that's the life, 5 and 10. Nothing changed? So we got a nothing. I'm looking at it. It just nothing changed. I guess that's one of the results from it. I mean, it's worse than badness. I don't see any differences. Nope. No, it's exactly the same now. It's just corrupted. Okay. Good chunk. Could have added something cool, though. Could have added another socket. That would have been huge. Oh, well. Next item. I did corrupt this, and I got the +1 to all melee skills up there. That was really nice. Because then we get attack speed. We need... you can get 1 to 2 on your gloves. And technically now you can get a third if you corrupt it. So you can get 2 plus the 1 on your gloves for the corrupted. And then I had the all resists. The fire damage is okay. It's not really anything. But you're going to look for life. The mana doesn't help. It just happened to be a pair of gloves that was on there. Strength I need on there. Life, attack speed, melee. A lot of stuff to have on there, guy. Let's do the rings. 1, probably 2. If you're dying, probably get 2 rings with the leech on there. And then you're probably gonna need some resists on your rings. And but see that increased lightning and chaos, those are useless mods to me. But this ring was cheap, and it had lightning and lightning again. So if I take this off of here, look what happens to my lightning over there. was down to 1%. So this ring pretty much took care of my lightning. It was just a band-aid fix. But it's okay. It's not a bad, horrible ring. There's just improvements there. And then what you do is, in this case, it was lightning. This would be a really good lightning ring for somebody else that does like a monk that does lightning damage, I guess. Because I improved it with this one. Let's see. Oh, there's a lightning. One of these does lightning, and I did the quality up so that it improved all the lightning mods on it, which is the resistance and the lightning damage too. So that was pretty cool. Over here we went with physical attack damage. That's nice to have. Strength, life, resist all I put on this one, and then that. And the corruption didn't do anything. The corruption didn't do... Oh, it gave us 13 strength on corruption over here. That's nice. It can hurt the item though too, so you're risking stuff when you do the corruption, so it can hurt them. Yeah, it can. It's risky. I risked it on here. And then quality it up again. And what did I do? Fire modifiers on that one. So must be my fire resistance ring. Over here, movement speed is a must. At least 25, ideally 30. You can technically get 35, maybe even some kind of movement speed. And then we corrupted it. I think I got nothing. Yeah, nothing. Doesn't look like I got anything. Intelligence I needed. I could have just done strength, but strength, intelligence, rarity was nice to have. Ideally, you want to have about 100 rarity. It looks like 100 to 150, and then it starts to taper off after that. Not conclusive, but there have been a lot of tests out that has proved that's the case. So 500 isn't really super necessary, but like 150, and then improve the quantity of items in a map, and the quantity of monsters in a map is the key to it. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research, but that's ideally what it is. I think I have to work on this one too. Might sell it? Or I think I was going to do a magic find on here. But the magic finds ones, the jewels, the soul cores are expensive, like 8 or 9 divines each, or 10 divines each. So that'd be another 20 divines just to get this thing. I might sell this back off. So we've covered everything except the belt. The belt, I want to get to an ingenuity belt, but they cost 10 divine as a starter. And what they do is they multiply it. They don't give you any stats, but they multiply the values of your rings. But then again, I would need new rings because I'd be over capped. So a little bit tricky there. So for right now, I just went with resistances, strength, life, and that's it. And you can get one that says 20%, and I corrupted it for the dexterity, but you can get one that says 20% of your flask is instant. That would be nice as well. I'd prefer that as the implicit. If you hold down Alt, it'll say the implicit. I'd rather have that implicit on there. This is only at 2%. I'd probably like to get it a little higher. If I corrupt it, it's my only one on me. I could corrupt a different one and maybe get something nice. I corrupt this. Try it. Let's just try it. What did it do? I don't know. I don't think it did anything. Let me know if it did anything. I don't think it did it. Interesting. Oh. Now it's refilled. Get out of that. Okay. Well, that's the gear. Quality it up. Quality your gear up, if you can. Anointing. Anoints work like this. Like this is a Titanic. So what you do is you look around on here and see how that's it lit up. It's because it's anointed. So if you hold down Alt, it says distilled emotion, despair, paranoia, and guilt. And it even look, there's the picture of them at the top there. So you come in here, and you'd grab a. See where I put them. I put them right here. And you'd go like this. Right click. And you'd put a distilled, a paranoia, and a guilt. And then you'd put your item in here. And because it's corrupted, we don't have a tainted oils yet. We can't undo it. But then it would put that. If it was the right 3 combinations, it would put Titanic on there. We'll just put these back away. Cool. So that covers the anoint on the item. That's all the item stuff. Let's go over the passive tree next. I'll explain that. I still have not bothered to ascend the 4th Ascendancy. You could get, I think carries sell for like 30 exalts, and then you'd go in there, they would kill it, and you'd get credit. Or you could do your 4th Sanctum would be the easiest thing, I think. And what would I probably take? Right now we have quality. These are all easy to get as this Gemling tank that we're doing. And this counts as a warrior as well. You're going to use the same build as a warrior. The only difference is a few differences, but not many. You'd have to balance, maybe take some more intelligence or dexterity nodes. But you're going to have more DPS as a warrior Titan version of this, and you'll probably have the shockwave chance too, which is nice. But you'll be less tanky in general because this thing is really powerful. The strength gives you double its rewards from strength. So it makes it easier for me to build up life here. So I went with quality, and then here is increased attributes again. And then this one is attributes requirements of gems can be satisfied by my highest attribute. My highest attribute is sitting at 651. So I can use a lot of different gems. This frees up a lot. This makes it easier to do Grim Feast as a Gemling than as a Titan. That's another difference. You could use a lesser version of Grim Feast that maybe wouldn't take as much, like a level 5 or 6 versus the high level one I use. And that could work, but it's just harder. And then this one, that's it. So there's not much to this. The quality is nice. And as this build goes, you can take a look on the mobalytics to study it, but basically all I do is I come down here, I grab this for armor and dexterity. It's just a nice thing to grab. Reduced critical damage bonus, which is cool against me. That's nice. Some armor. I'm not a big fan of the armor. It just doesn't work very well yet. Maybe it will in the next patch. Area of effect. I probably... Yep, this is where you could either go across here if you do like armor, you could go this way and then come back down, or this way. This is only 2 to get over here, and this would be 1, 2, 3 to get over here. So this would, if you want more armor, spend it here. And then we go over here for more damage against heavy stunned enemies. Here's AoE. I come down here. Here's a lot of strength right here. I've got more strength available to me still. That's going to be huge. And then strength here and some more armor versus crits. So the crit reduction is nice. This build has 7 jewel slots, and I've corrupted all my jewels. Can I corrupt this one? I don't know if you can. I think you... Oh, it is already corrupted with strength on there. You end up with 7 of these slots in total. So you're going to see how I get some lightning resistance there. I got 5 mods on that one. What did I get here? Fire resistance. Made it a lot easier. 5 mods. Looks like I got some rage on that one. Rage on hit. Some cold resistance. Really cool. And 5 mods. Alright, so we came down here. And when you're first leveling up, I've leveled up quite a few times. I'm leveling up 3 or 4 times now. I'm even playing this in hardcore as a leap slammer, 2-handed mace. So I'm doing this in hardcore solo self-found as well. There's a series on it I'm doing. I come down this way. I come over here. This is the first thing that, as you're working your way over here, this is the first thing that frees up mod slots on your gear. Once you take this, you don't have to worry about accuracy. So that just goes out the window. Especially in solo self-found, not having to worry about accuracy is a huge thing. And then if you do have an item and you do have a bunch of accuracy, you can always back out of this, and that's fine too. Only 1 point, and you can just easily switch in and out of it. Over here, AoE, but I didn't take this because I don't do any aftershocks. Aftershocks are over here with the Titan, but the warrior gets aftershocks quite often, so I would use that on a warrior. More damage. and bigger area effect. It's pretty cool. Some life here, more strength, and then life right there. We come over here. I'll explain the jewels in a second. AoE is right here. And then we come over here for the very most important thing. See how I don't use any mana? I don't care about mana. I mean, this costs a lot. The Rolling Slam costs 700, and each Leap Slam almost costs 700 mana, which I convert to life cost. And if you want, you can come down and take these two nodes, and you'll get like 1%, almost 1% here, and then another half, so 1.5% regen with your other normal regens. It's enough to really kind of, once you get your life up like this, it comes back really quick then, and then you don't even have to, you can leap without having to really worry about your, like this. That's how fast it's coming back. Oh, I would have to take some. I don't have it over there, so it would come back smoother than that. Otherwise, I have to actually press a button. But I'll make the sacrifice. Let's go back over here. All right. This is all kind of damage. This whole area is damage. Lots of damage. And then we come up this way, and then we get into the close range damage. But when you're aiming for stuff, when you're leveling this up, I would go here, and I'd work my way over to get blood magic. Then life gets easy. Then I'd come back down this way, and because you don't have blood magic anymore, now you can get more strength. Lots of strength here. This one I'd probably take a little bit later as your strength builds up, but there's no penalties for this because you don't have any mana anymore. So it's just nice nodes. You're probably going to be taking some of these and then unspecking later as you get more and more strength, because you're going to get this. And this is going to allow you to use. It's tough. There's a penalty when you dual wield of 30%. It's hard to overcome that. So a lot of times you just use a shield, a good shield with life, strength. It should have a block percentage before you get this one. It should have a block percentage to get that block percentage above 25%, like up to 45, 46%. And then you can use a shield with your two-hander. But it's going to multiply the requirement of your weapon by 3. So that 174 is now a 510, 522, and I think the 212s go to 636. Now there's ways to reduce that on the as a Gemling, and over here. You come way over here, which you eventually will. You're getting a lot of attributes. 10% increased attributes. Then right here, you can lower it by 12%. Right there. So this weapon is 10 off that, 17, about 20 something lower than that. And then it's multiplied by 3, so it's about 60 lower with the actual requirement. So that's how you would get that if you really want to get a weapon in there early. So we've covered over here. You're going to grab this one, then you're going to work your way over here. If you can take this and get a shield, great. If not, continue working your way over this way and get some attributes, and then you can do a 174. Sooner the better. A 174 type weapon with, good stats, good damage, some attack speed if possible. If it didn't have that, I'd be okay with it. But the +5 or +6 to the melee thing is extremely important. Same thing over here. You get melee skills on you can get 1 to 2 melee skills here, and then 1 to 2 here, and possibly if you corrupt it and you get lucky, another one. So, and this goes up to +7, but +6 is more reliable. +5 is more reliable. 6 is tough too to get. So it just all adds up into just big damage. So you're going to work your way over here. This is the leech stuff. So I just come this way. And this does a few things. Increased physical damage, great. 5% reduced maximum life. That's okay with me. I don't mind. Because I wanted the increased damage. And the increased leech is nice. Increased leech. So we're getting like 60% increased leech just off of that on top of this one. So that's why it's okay to run only one of these. And then over here, instead of your life leech being removed, which takes, life leech itself takes 1 second to come back in. So I'm hitting for, let's say 50,000 or 100,000. Let's say, just to keep it easy, 100,000. And I have over 10% with all the bonuses to life leech. It's over that. It's probably, I don't know, on my sheet somewhere, because I get life leech bonuses from these things too. 13% increase there. So I don't know. It's a lot. Let's say it's 15%. So 15,000 from a hit over 1 second. Well, let's say I only hit for 50,000. It's still 7,500 over 1 second. Well, let's say you're getting hit regularly. Bam, 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 bam. But if you take this one, then once your leech hits full, it'll still exist. So if you get hit, let's say you're filling up to 6,700, you get hit, that 1 second life leech that's still running will still be running, and it'll keep you full more often. It just smooths things out and makes life easier. When there's lots of creatures out there, you're fighting along. It's just better. It's just nicer. You can slow it down too. I think there's a way to slow down life leech right here, savored blood. So you would increase the leech, and then life leech is slowed down by 20%. That's a pretty interesting one as well. I mean, it's way over here. It's a possibility if I really wanted to get into life leech. So it would be like 1.2 seconds, I'm guessing. I don't know. It's hard to tell. And then over here is AoE. That's how you can reduce the requirements of weapons. And then a point here. I think this covers it all. So let's cover the jewels. What I want on them as a minimum is either there's going to be a type of damage. And normally you can't get melee damage and mace damage. Oh no, you can't. You get melee damage and mace damage, but you can't get 3. Like, you can't get melee damage, global damage, and mace damage because they're prefixes. Let's see. See how those are 2 prefixes at the top? Melee. You can only get 2 prefixes and 2 suffixes. So, but you can, if you can get a corrupted version, you can get a third thing in here. Let's see. What do we get here? There, we got a third suffix. Life regen, that's not that good. Increased life leech, that's okay. And increased stun buildup on that one. So it's okay. But what you want to shoot for is either global defense, global damage, melee damage, or mace damage. As the 2 of the prefixes, and then probably some life leech on there. And then I'll let you pick the third, the second suffix. And then you want to corrupt it. Once you get to the point where you feel comfortable corrupting, then corrupt it too. So the weapon swap doesn't help me. Over here, what do we get? We got physical damage, mace damage, that's good. Life regen I don't like. So there's some I don't like on there. That's cool. But you're going to get 6 of these gems because the 7th, when you can save up, this was like 2 or 3 divine, not too bad. Overall, I mean, things are getting more expensive, guys. That's just how things are. As the league continues, things, the money piles up and the items aren't as popular or as prevalent as the money. So when there's more money chasing fewer items, prices go up. And this is a hard one to search for. It's the Against the Darkness. So I just opened up a thing and said, hey, show me just all of them. And I said, I wanted to see the corrupted ones. And then I started searching just to control find for strength. So 3% strength. And what it does is, see how those are a little bit lit up? So this one says 3% strength. That gives me 3% strength. That one gives me 3% strength. And that one 3% strength. So that's a 9% strength total. Now, if I came over here and got this one, it would add strength as well. It also adds a little bit of cold resistance to all these small passives. Not these kind of passives. These are travel passives. These are travel nodes, but this kind of a passive, a small node like that, will give me the other 2%. And that's how you get it. And it's corrupted, so it gives me 7 strength as well. So if you take that away, no thing on there, put it back, it does that. How much life? That gives me about 400 life. Pretty cool. I think this covers the tree. bad. My fourth ascendancy will either be +1 to all my gems, or probably going to be that. This is the more defensive route. I can raise my caps of all my resists, but I'll probably go with more offense. I'm pretty tanky. I'm happy with my tankiness. And then I'll have 3 extra slots, which I don't need right now, but oh well. And then there's the equipment, the other way to reduce the equipment and skill gem requirements. I'm not sure if this works. I think it does. I have to double check. It might be a little weird, but it should work to get the 212 requirement down. So you can get it down from, that was 12%, and this is another 8. So you can reduce it by 20% going up this way. Same thing here. All right, Atlas tree. All I did, this this is a multiplier on the prefixes and suffixes on your maps. And I just searched Waystone and got a bunch of Waystone stuff because I wanted lots of Waystones. They're hard to get. They're still hard to get. I took lots of these. I went away from the rares. I was doing this and I was an extra rare, but this was a lot of points to spend. I'd rather spend them over here, increase the pack size, and then get this thing. So I went that way. Rarity, I'm getting a little bit of rarity this way. This is just Waystone stuff. And then I went up over here, but this is really up to you guys. You know, you might want to do local knowledge. You might want to do, I don't know, that one. This one is, if you have this one, things can get out of hand pretty quickly with bosses. This is a dangerous one to take. This one's dangerous as well, but I wanted the extra juice in the maps. So that's what I did. There we go. And then as you kill bosses in tier 16 maps or beyond, and then you gotta keep on meeting the requirements, and you do that, you'll get points to spend in here too. I don't like these strong boxes. They take forever. Maybe I'll go with an essence. I don't know. And then I want to get one more for here. Zesht was a pretty easy boss. I wasn't in any danger. I'll probably do him again, and then probably get, what is this? Your map's 40% increased monster density. I like that. I'll get that one. And even more monsters. I like it. All right. So I'll probably have Zesht on the table again. Tier difficulty 2 Zesht. That'll be interesting. Okay. So we've covered jewels, gear. Oh, the spirit stuff, the gems. Let's do that. Okay. Let's pull that up. I just threw these in here. I don't use Mace Strike. Some people do, but I just don't. This quarterstaff is just sitting there. I was just messing around with it so we can pull that out. Quarterstaff, out you go. Okay. So, Raise Shield. I haven't improved it at all. I don't know if you can improve it. Can you? No, I don't think you can. Raise Shield's just, if you have a shield, you have that ability to raise up your shield like that. And you can block from all around. Pretty cool. We'll focus on these. Leap Slam. This number is not, doesn't show you the correct value because, for instance, it doesn't do that. So that's 40% more because it doesn't know if you've leaped that far before. If you have close combat on here, it wouldn't know because you don't know that the monsters are on there. So it's just a feel for it. It doesn't understand that the monsters have minus 7,500 armor, so it doesn't understand the armor. It's just a rough estimate. If I put a different weapon there and this number goes down, generally, then this is a worse weapon. Generally, sort of. Yeah, in general. So we have our Leap Slam. I've qualitied it up. If you hold down Alt, it doesn't really do much because I don't break the armor, so I don't do more damage. There's a little bit of armor breakage, but not enough. But it's worth it to quality everything up. Just get it out of the way and get it done with. It is a level 19 gem, but then I get 9 levels. You can see up there. I get 9 levels from my global modifiers. That's where the +6 comes from, the +3, +2, and +1. So 9 on top of that. What else? Oh, so we do momentum. If I leap more than that, it makes that skill do 40% more damage. Cool. I usually leap pretty far. Otherwise, 2 meters is like right here. So you can even leap just a short distance and it should trigger. Martial Temple, that's the attack speed that helps with making it more smooth. So there's 25%, there's some here, and then there's a little bit from the tree as well. So that's how I get my attack speed. Heft, more damage, more physical damage. And there's only a few gems of these that you can quality up, but not, can't quality these up, see? And you can always pin these too and move it around and take a look at it and look at the next one and compare them. Pretty cool. The new thing. And then I've got magnified effect, 40% more area of effect around there. Very nice. And then brutality. Now brutality means I can't, if this had a bunch of like fire damage and lightning damage, it would negate it on there. It won't negate the Herald of Fire thing and the ignite stuff. Sometimes it doesn't even negate, like, let's say there's a little fire. Here's a little fire. Let's see if I hold down. If I hold down this, it show fire damage on here. If I take this brutality off, does the fire damage come back? Yeah, 27 to 109. Now it's gone. So it does even wipe it off of here as well. But it doesn't off of other things like the Herald of Ash. It doesn't wipe that away. Okay. So that's the setup. If you've got a bunch of elemental damage, then don't run brutality on here. Run it on, I don't know, run it on your Hammer of the Gods or something. I don't know. Somebody said put Lacerate on here as well. Probably should have. That would be nice to add a thing. I would add Lacerate on there, which is this one. So it has a 50% chance to bleed with a big hit too. Then Rolling Slam. Let's take a look at the... I go like this. I go to first. There's where the quality shows up. So Rolling Slam, for me, has an 80% of my physical damage goes into the daze. And the daze make it so that the stun buildup is more efficient or something. I don't know. It just does something. So I put it on there. Then we have Execute. When it's lower, and this is usually what I use on bosses. I just sit there and face tank them. I don't really think about stuff. I just plunk them down. Fist of War. I don't use this very often, but so that this is going to be up pretty cool. It'll be up every 6 seconds. It's just a boost. I'll take it. It's going to be close, so I put it on there with close combat. Fire Infusion does some extra damage. And yeah, I don't have brutality in it. That won't warp that out. I could swap these and put fire damage on that and do it that way. And then rage support. Plus with the Jewel of 1, I think I get 4 per hit. And then I build up to 30% rage. I could even do a rage build with this and get more rage and improve my rage on the tree if you wanted to go that route and just do a rage build too. But rage is pretty cool. 30% more multiplier. Okay, it's not that great. Ideally, I would have something like, I would swap out, if I was doing a boss fight, I would probably want to swap out brutality with this. I would swap these two. And that way, brutality is just a more multiplier, 35% more multiplier all the time. So if I was doing bosses smartly with Dash, I would probably do that. Is there anything else? There's something else to speed too. Every half second, rage grants more attack damage. Yeah, I would probably swap that. It would be a smart thing to do to swap it. 35 permanent, yeah. That make bosses easier. But oh well. I just fight them anyways. Then I have this one. The cooldown recovery rate is 30% increased. I get a lot of cooldown because I have second wind on here. It gives me a second one of these. Yeah, it says 2. If I take that off, it'll only be 1 use, and then it has to recharge itself. It takes 33 seconds to recharge, so I can do 1, 2, and then within a minute I would have another. So it's like 1 every 17, 18 seconds ish. Works out to be a heavy swing, less attack speed. I don't like that on my on these because it slows it down, but I don't mind it on the Hammer of the Gods because it's already kind of a slow wind up anyways. Splinter, Break some armor, and Demolisher maybe does more. Break arm, I don't know. I just threw these on there. Probably put Lacerate on here. Let's do that. Let's go that, and we'll throw that up there. It doesn't do anything, but oh well. Let's try that. A nicer setup. Break some armor and then Lacerate. Has a 50% chance on a boss to inflict a bleed. Cool. And now we get into, well, I'll show you a shield charge also. Qualitied up with your gem cutter prisms. And those are from in your, you'll get those occasionally, or you can buy them off of Alva. Look up the word prism and it should be there, and you need 4 of them to get it up to 20%. And then it reduces the cooldown by a total of 10% if you have 20. I have 32% quality, so it's 16% cooldown recovery rate. And then I put Life Leap, Bludgeon, and this one, Ingenuity, on here. It increases the cooldown recovery rate by 30%. If I wanted that on the Hammer of the Gods, I could get a second, put that up there. I could, but I like this one because it allows me to zip around with shield charge like this.
Not yet.
Fairly often. And there we go. Decently often. I'd like it to be a little smoother, but oh well. Let's go back into here and explain these. First and foremost, if you're playing a Titan, then you're gonna run this. You're gonna run Herald of Ash. You're not gonna have the Replenisher Grim Feast on here most likely, especially at level 18, because it takes 178 int. Might be able to squeeze in a level 5 or 6, and then if you have some int for some reason up to like 60, 70, you might get a level 7 or 8, and then those little white feathers give me 209 energy shield per feather. I call them feathers. You might get 70, and that might be enough to run it, but ideally you're going to run Herald of Ice or Herald of Ash with can you run? I think you can run Blasphemy, and that's going to take and use a lower level Blasphemy if you can with Vulnerability. I'd have to go in there and test it, but it'll be a less vulnerability and a less one of these, and you can quality this up as well, see? So it increases the effectiveness of the curse. You might be able to squeeze that in. Otherwise, you're going to do just quality up your Herald of Ash, and then do one of the basic ones for Titan. But this is the coolness of the Gemling class, because it allows me to do this at a high level. I should probably improve that to level 19. Just haven't done it yet. The Blasphemy, that's 60 spirit, and I only unlocked that because of this helm with the plus 30 on there that I got. So that's going to cost probably 3 to 4 divine with a plus 30 if you can find it. Just a generic one of these. But then it unlocks Blasphemy. If you're a Gemling, you're going to be able to do this easily then. And when I say easily, you're still, what are we at? We have two spirit left because of this. And you got to quality it up too, otherwise it won't work because it reduces the costs if you quality it up. Let's see. Quality modifiers. It reduces the cost. So, Blasphemy, Vulnerability, permanently, and takes away all their armor. This one with Fire Mastery improves that, and Persistence. I don't even know if that does anything. Probably doesn't, but I don't know. I threw it on there. I didn't have anything else. And then this one, Cannibalism, 15 Spirit, gets you some kills along with Grim Feast. If you don't have the Spirit, you can go without Cannibalism and just go with this. Grim Feast feeds this back, and that's how we get the 4600 energy shield. So if I covered everything on here, I think I have. I think that's everything. And I just toss this away. Toss this in here. Statue. I don't know, I'll just throw it right here. Alright. So, maps. I run I've organized them like this. Not really. This is just all my garbage maps. These I actually 3 for 1. So I'll take just like this. Take 3 of those. I'll come over here. 3 14s. Reforge it. Now I've got a tier 15. And I keep my 15s like this. Control left click. Put some. So I've got all my tier 15s down to here. And then the ones I don't want to run. I don't want to run this one. I don't like the elemental weakness curse on that. I'll run it if I'm like low on, like I just leveled, so I'll run it and won't care about it and I'll just run that one. Or if it's a tier 14, I'll probably sell it. But if it's let's say that was a tier 15 and I was close to level, I wouldn't run it, just in case. But there's a bleed on hit. This would be completely fine. What else? These are all fine. Easy stuff to do. Tier 16s I set over there and get ready to run. And that's it. I run the towers. I expose a bunch of breaches with... here's all my breach precursors. The 10s there. Then I've got 5s, 6s, 7s, and 8s. I've got irradiated to add levels to maps in the zone, through the towers. 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s. Then a mix here. And that's it. That's how I do it. I just go through, have a good time. Nothing fancy. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I don't know if there'll be another update. The next update would have probably... Oh, the Ingenuity Belt would be a nice one, where it multiplies the effect of that by like an 80% would be really nice, but they're expensive. There's other options, but this really covers the basics. And it allows me to do a ton of the content. So I'm doing the big bosses. I just did the Zesh Pinnacle boss things. And I'm doing a hardcore solo self-found series of two-handed mace run, Gemling. So I'm learning the brutality of solo self-found hardcore as well in this game. It's brutal. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, I'll, sorry, and let me know in the comments. I'll pin it as a comment if it's something I missed that was really crucially important. I think it's all good. And Mobalytics in the chapters at the bottom. Have a good one. If you like this stuff, go ahead and give a thumbs up. It helps get the word out. And enjoy, guys. I have a good time with this. And Happy New Year to everybody. Have a good one and enjoy.